also asked him, why are you so interested in starting a lodge? What's your motivation? And he was very quick to say that there had been an Italian festival in Birmingham for a long time that ran out of steam. People lost interest. And in 2018, before COVID, maybe not even the reason COVID, they stopped doing the festival. He said, I want to bring that festival back. And he's very proud of his Italian heritage. And it was uplifting for me, and I know for Mary, to hear that. So that bodes well. That's a great story, a young person getting involved, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that lodge is successful. So let me conclude by saying, Bob, thank you very much for providing the creativity, passion, contagious enthusiasm that pervades this organization and helps propel us to greater heights. You make the impossible possible, and we talked about that last night. No, who knew? When he said, let's get on television, I'll be honest, I didn't think that could be done, but it was done. And again, thank you for making the impossible possible, and thank you for putting me on the team. Appreciate it.
Okay, and I want to bring up Tony Anderson and thank Tony, who's regularly on our 2 weekly calls each week, and for all the support that he's given to the administration. Tony.
Thank you, President Bob, fellow national officers, national trustees, past national presidents. Thank you for all of your guidance and your help to this organization, because if it wasn't for your leadership, none of us would be up here on this day as today. I do want to thank President Bob for his vision and putting us on a mission to be successful for the future. We had to change because things are changing, and now we're doing so, and we're in the beginning of doing something for us in the future. I do want to first, though, congratulate our first national vice president, Joey, for becoming a dad to little boy Dante. I can't wait to see a picture of him. And to Justin for being a new father, and to a beautiful daughter named Giacomo. That's got to be fantastic feeling. So congratulations to you. You know, being on the Tuesday calls and the Friday calls is very important, because I know what's going on with everybody. I find out things. I'm being part of what's happening, and I appreciate that opportunity, President Bob, very much. I do want to tell you that being chair or advisor of committees is a fun thing. And we just had a great Zoom call with past National President Joe Russo, National Trustee Vince, and past National President Joanne Strollo in regards to the Marconi Award. So there'll be more coming with that in the future. But I want to urge all of you to nominate someone if you know they fit the criteria. They must fit the criteria, and that criteria is in the business book. So please read that, look at that. If you have somebody that's fits that criteria, please send that information in so Brother Joe Russo and Vince and Joanne Strollo can discuss said individuals. And Brother Joe will say something here in a little while. But I want to thank those people. I want to thank Anita Lombardi-Riley, Rosetta Stella Beiersdorf for your leadership with autism and helping raise some funds. I bought 3 of those tea towels out there today because they were all sold out in Chicago. I want to thank Bob Paniccia and past national president Paul Polo. Paul Polo was the founder of our gold membership committee and award. And Bob will report on that later. We have some fun things going on with that. Our Sports Hall of Fame committee, we had a great Zoom meeting. Nick will say something about that at the appropriate time. And I also want to thank Diane Santoro and Michelle Ment, we haven't had a lot to do, have we, ladies? That means things are going well. But if you think that there's something that the state and Grand Lodge presidents need to do more of, please let us know. Maybe we can have a Zoom meeting with just us and we can talk about things and move forward together. In any event, I want to also say that the meeting in Rome was very good. We had a great time. And I can tell you, Justin took us to a restaurant every night, different restaurant. And Rome was built on how many hills? 7. Yeah, well, he hit all 7 and maybe a couple more. I told him, I says, I'm not going to gain any weight on this trip. Everywhere we go, I'm walking up a hill. But we had fun. And if you see the pictures, you'll know that we had fun. I mean, when I was Grand Lodge president of the Northwest, I started off my last convention this way. I said, I want to tell you my 4 favorite F words. First, we're going to be fraternal at this convention. We're going to be fair at this convention. We're going to be flexible at this convention. But the most important F word for all of us and everything that we're doing is that we're going to have fun. If we're not going to have fun, we're going to fold. And I'm not a folder. I like to keep going and move onward and upward. So just let me close in saying thank you again for this opportunity. And my own personal motto, which is on the last thing I say with everything I do, and it's this: it's anything we accomplish in life is never accomplished alone, but together. So if we stick together, we're going to succeed. Thank you, Mr. President.
From now on, every time I see Tony, I'm going to think about, I got to Rome. I was at Pepe's, which was our meeting place.
Yeah.
If we all got lost, meet at Pepe's, and Tony took me to, he said, let's get something to eat. And we went to that restaurant and they came out with a bowl of olives. And I bit into one of the olives and I almost passed out. I'm like, I've never tasted anything like this in my life. Right, Tony?
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I'll always think of an olive when I see you.
I love it. As long as I'm not the pit, Mr. President.
No. It was a great experience. Okay. National past immediate president, the queen of Zoom, Nancy DeFiore Quinn. Nancy. I tried.
I know you did. We need some more women up here. What? I know. First, I want to just thank everybody for everything you've done for me while I was national president. You know, when COVID hit, all I could think about, I had ideas, things to do, like any other presidents or any other leader, but I put them all aside and said to myself, I have to get this organization through these next 2 years. That's my job. That's the job I was given. And with Bob and a little bit of help from my Zoom king, who helped me and taught me how to do Zoom. So I thank you for that. It went well. I was pretty satisfied when it was all over. Of course, you're always disappointed when you don't get to do what you really wanted to do. But sometimes I think that's, why we're put on this earth. We're put on this earth to do what we're supposed to do. And that was my thing. So Zoom queen I am. The only thing I can't do is set up a Zoom call. You have to help me with that. I don't know how to set it up. Oh, good. We're going to do it later. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad. Okay. So I did serve this year on the I didn't write a report and I'm sorry I didn't. I served on the Women's Action Committee with wonderful, wonderful women of the order. We have a lot of good ideas coming up. And that was very satisfying to me because we really do need more women up here. You're all leaders. A lot of you have been state presidents. As I said many times before, there's nothing more difficult than being the state president of the Grand Lodge of New York. So if you can do that, Michelle, you could do the rest. So please, don't hesitate to run for something, to give it a try. Your leadership is needed. It's the sons and daughters of Italy in America. We want to leave it that way. The one good thing I had was I was able to go back to my lodge at Percembra Lodge, what I've been a member of, I guess, 40 some plus years, and my Grand Lodge, and start to work with them again. And that was great because I did miss that. I had skipped meetings during my 2 years. Well, I guess we didn't have that many because of COVID. But I missed my friends. I missed my friends at the Grand Lodge. I missed my friends in my own lodge. And now I was able to go back, go to the meetings every month, be part of whatever they were doing, and I'm enjoying it. So I really thank you all for the opportunity to serve, to have served. And it's great to be here this afternoon with Tommy Lupo and Joe Shiami and Joe DiTrapani. They keep me in the loop. I know what's happening, and don't think you're getting away with anything. I know, because I hear it.
Lots of people can start thinking there's something going on there.
No. I really thank you, Bob. I think we did well. We talked a lot. We kind of decided what we were going to do, and him being the leader that he is, was able to take it all and to bring it back. So we're strong. We're as strong as ever. We lost nothing. And to me, that was a plus. The fact that we lost nothing and we're still moving ahead. So if you're of Italian heritage background and you're sitting in this room and you don't belong to the Order Sons and Daughters in Italy of America, make sure you find somebody to give you a application. Thank you. Thank you all.
I really think they can't underscore the leadership that Nancy showed, because let's be honest, there's a lot of complaints sometimes or disagreements about social media, and we don't do that, and we're not techie and whatever, and that's okay. We got people here that can do it, but to pick that platform up and to allow those who did know how to use it to leverage it showed to me tremendous leadership, because I've been around the block with people who, they don't know it and they don't like it and they don't want anyone else doing it. And that to me is not leadership. What Nancy did was tremendous. And Nancy, I mean it. I think it turned the corner on this organization from that point forward. So thank you. So another person I want to give great thanks to, I know there's a lot of effort and work that goes into this position. I held it, and it's challenging. It takes intellect. It takes great amount of wisdom and trying to calm people down and get through the who's upset at who for whatever. And it's really a challenging position. I think you guys that remember know that it was challenging for me, certainly. And I want to thank Tony Perfilio as well, because I know that Frank Gattuso and Tony are on the precipice of a groundbreaking project that we have been talking about doing for 25 years. And they'll report about that. It involves the bylaws, but for right now, our national order, Frank Gattuso.
All right, I can sit down after that introduction. I don't know if that's entirely deserved, but thank you, Bob. It's been a pleasure working on this administration and working with all of you. I've gotten to know a lot of you throughout this process a lot better, and I always, every time I come up here, I think about every day. I should say, whenever I'm working on the Sons of Italy business, what a great organization this is, and the commitment that everybody in this room has and everybody has throughout this country. And I want to thank you for the courtesies and the professionalism and all the assistance that you guys have given me as I navigate some of the issues that pop up throughout the country. In your packet, there was my report. I felt it was probably the most important report that you're ever going to get, so I decided to give it to you when you got your packets. I'm just kidding. I unfortunately had to give the report late. I had some unfortunate circumstances happen in the last few months, which didn't allow me to get the report in on time, and I thank Bob for allowing me to submit that late. I want to thank you all for the cards and the reach outs and all that. I had my aunt and uncle who passed away in the last couple months, so you touched our hearts, and thank you very much. A lot of people in the organization reached out, and I'm thankful for that. My report's self-explanatory. It's in there. I'm not going to highlight everything, but there is one thing I want to highlight there with regard to the international lodges. As you know, we have international lodges in Italy. A few more were installed when the group went in the fall. Unfortunately, I had to miss it because I had COVID, which that's a whole nother story. But it was a great trip, I heard, and it's great stuff. But obviously, having an international organization now, truly international, comes with some issues that could arise. So Bob tasked us to take a look at that to see if our rules govern us properly, and are we set up as a business to properly run with an international organization. And we did an initial review of the bylaws with regard to whether or not they're functional to have an international lodges, and they are.